G'day and Merry Christmas. Welcome back to RC Model Reviews for the Christmas video, and I'm here under sufferance because my wife is expecting me home any moment to go Christmas shopping and I'm running late, so this will be very quick, I hope. And I'm going to run through a list of things that I've written because I'm old and I forget, and I've got to go out on the sleigh tonight and deliver presents to children all over the world, as you well know. Anyway, first of all, a couple of people I want to thank in this video. First of all, I want to thank Jason and Paul. Now, Paul and Jason were the mediators who struck the reconciliation between Model Flying New Zealand and myself, which has been very important, because if that hadn't happened, well, you wouldn't be watching this video or a whole lot of others, because I'd reached the point where I had to really seriously consider closing down the channel, and I'd made that decision. But no, rescued at the 11th hour by the mediators and Model Flying New Zealand, who have changed a lot. New organisation, really. It's a big different. There's a big difference to what it was 3 or 4 years ago. There's a lot of younger people in there now. They're embracing new aspects of the hobby, such as FPV and mini quad racing. Some of the things that I'd criticised, no longer valid criticisms, because the organisation has changed. And just to give you a heads up, I have this policy: if you send me a shirt, I'll wear it. Well, guess what? The president of Model Flying New Zealand came in last weekend, gave me this. See that? It's a Model Flying New Zealand shirt, and yes, I will be wearing it in an upcoming video. I usually say I won't endorse the product, but yeah, I'll endorse this one actually, because, as I say, the organisation has changed dramatically. So it's all good news for the hobby flyers here in New Zealand. Wonderful things, wonderful times ahead, I hope. Now, a few other people to thank. First of all, you, the subscriber and the casual viewers. You're the people that make this channel the success that it is. Without viewers, it'd be nothing. I mean, there are millions and millions of YouTube channels that have a tiny handful of subscribers and very few viewers. So I'm very blessed to have people like yourselves who watch this channel regularly and hopefully get something from it. In fact, I had a call from Saudi Arabia last night from a gentleman, Mohammed, who thanked me for doing the videos. I think he said he wasn't a model flyer, but he really enjoyed them anyway. Just wanted to ring up and thank me. Oh, that's pretty good. When you get calls like that, it really makes it all worthwhile. It really does, because this is my full-time gig, as I've said, and I am able at the best of times to cover the bills, but I'm not making a lot of money out of this, as my wife will find out when she opens her Christmas present. But even coal's gone up. It cost me a fortune with that lump of coal this year. So while I'm at it, I won't say it again this year, if you do have a few spare coins that you can send the way of RC Model Reviews, there's a donate button on the RCModelReviews.com website. If you go there on the left-hand side, there's a PayPal donate button. If you can throw a few dollars my way, the wife and I will be eternally grateful, and you'll get the benefit of seeing more products reviewed in the new year, which is always a bonus, because it's summer and we really want to get as many airframe reviews, as many model reviews as we can do during the warmer, calmer, more enjoyable months of summer. So the more money I've got, the more I can do in that regard. There are other companies and people I want to thank though, so sit down, pull up a chair, grab a coffee. It'll take a little while, but I'll try and get it done really quickly because the camera's nearly out of battery. First of all, Sony New Zealand. A lot of people email me and ask, what's the camera you're using? And it's a Sony HDR PZ, or PZ, depending on where you live, 760 VE. Mean much? Well, you can look it up online if you want to. But basically, it's one of their higher-end consumer camcorders, and it really has served me very well. They donated that to the channel a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and it's worked flawlessly. I'm so impressed. I had a Panasonic before that, which, old SD camera. It worked okay. And I must admit, I did approach Panasonic and say, hey, I've got a couple of YouTube channels. They're very popular. If you're interested in providing a camera, I'd be happy to use it and let other people see how it works. And they didn't even answer my email. Sony, bing, they jumped up, said, yep, we'll give you a camera. Look at that. So Sony, thumbs up. If you're looking at buying a camera, go and see Sony. They certainly support me, so I'm supporting them. And if I didn't think the product was good, I wouldn't say so. But I think this camera has been, well, you can see for yourself, it's been a really kick-ass camera. Okay, Hobby King. Always got to thank Hobby King. They changed the hobby when they came out as United Hobbies a few years ago. Suddenly things were half or a third the price. We could afford to buy models that we couldn't dream of buying before. We could afford to get more than one receiver and more than 4 servos, so we could have multiple models going at the same time. Oh, the whole thing changed when Hobby King came on the scene. Now, I know there's a few people that gripe and groan, oh, I bought stuff from Hobby King, it was crap, the service was crap. Well, yeah, but that's true of any supplier in the world. I've yet to find a supplier that hasn't occasionally slipped up, and occasionally you've had a bit of trouble getting support. And for example, I buy stuff from Banggood. They're on my list too. And my service and things with Banggood's been very hit and miss indeed. Sometimes they've sent me I've ordered, mini quad props, and they've sent me some horrible flimsy thing that I wouldn't put on a slow flyer. Well, what do? You can say, contact our customer service. And you do, and they go, oh, really, sorry about that. Anyway, so what do? I don't know. Banggood, I still buy stuff off them because some of their stuff's cheap and it's available, and they do seem reasonably reliable with their shipping and so forth. So, if I can't get it at Hobby King or I can't get it somewhere else, I'll go to Banggood and buy it. So, that's why they're on my list. They've become an important part of the hobby. Now, new companies that have come along or, done new things recently, Surveil Zone. I mean, they've brought out they've been selling the Foxeer Legend camera. I've just updated the firmware in mine. I'm going to re-review it with the new firmware. And they've sent stuff in for review, which is pretty damn good. I've got a DL, what is it? I don't know, 220, something frame like that to review. I actually bought the DL180. The second part of that review is coming up soon. I really like it. Also, RunCam, they brought out the RunCam HD version 2, which actually is, I like it. It's different to the Foxeer, and I'm going to do a comparison, a side-by-side, my opinion. Now I've got the new firmware loaded in both cameras. I'm going to tell you what I think is the best at the moment for my particular use and what the strengths and weaknesses are. So there'll be a composite, which do you choose review coming up very shortly on that. When I wasn't able to fly fixed wing, some companies stepped up to the plate and fired mini-quad stuff at me. Blackout the Drunk with the Blackout Mini H sent me that. That got me started in mini-quads, and boy, since then I've been heavy at it. It's great. Love mini-quads. Brilliant. Excellent aspect to the hobby. But I mean, there's also been Daniel from X-Hover sent me the MX P230, which I still my preferred mini-quad. And there's been Ron from Quadrasteria, who's doing some really interesting out-of-the-box things. And I've got the QR200 here. I just got the Cobra motors for that, so that review of that will be coming up very shortly, maybe even between Christmas and New Year. We've got other companies, FPV Model. They sent the ZMR250 version 2 in. Unfortunately, one of the ESCs was dud, and I haven't got a replacement yet. So when I get the replacement, the shipping's worth 3 times the price of the ESC, so I might just rip those ESCs out, put some other ESCs in, and say, well, this is what it's like, but the ESCs are different, because I've got to get that done. I've got Hobby Wireless. Now, they sent in a 3.3 gigahertz FPV system for review, which looks really promising, especially once they get those lower power transmitters, and providing you have the necessary permissions, a ham license or whatever, to use it, that could be a really, really good adjunct to the hobby. They also sent in some other FPV gear I'll be looking at, and so, that's going to be interesting stuff coming up in the future from Hobby Wireless. They seem to be quite switched on in the FPV area. I mentioned Banggood Fat Shark. Now, they sent me the Dominator version 2 HDs, and that's going to be really interesting because, as I say, once this rain and wind and cloud goes away, I'll be doing a lot of FPV, and I'm going to look at, some people love the HD version 2s, some people don't. And when there's something that's that polarizing, usually it's a fairly simple cause. It's usually something that is common to the people that don't like it and something that's common to the people that do like it. A lot of the people I respect have found these video glasses to be brilliant, so I'm really looking forward to giving them a really hard tryout over the next couple of weeks, and then I'll give you my opinion. I'll show you the goods and bads. I do like the Fat Shark product. As I said, I've been running Sky Zones, not that impressed with the reliability of the Sky Zones at this stage, but the Fat Sharks look like, I've never had any problems with my Fat Sharks, so we'll do a comparison and we'll do a review. So stay tuned. Fat Shark, thanks for the support. FreeSky, the company that really helped start RC Model Reviews, they brought out their product. I remember there was one video on YouTube, some guy in China flying a little foam model or something, and that was all you knew. And they said, well, do you want to review some? And they sent me some and I reviewed it, and it was good. It was actually good. It was really good. It was the best I'd seen on the market at the time. So I told you. And the rest is history, as they say, because now FreeSky has become a really leading force in this hobby, and they deserve to be because their products are so damn good. They're really affordable. As far as telemetry goes, they've got it nailed. You can buy a D4R2 and a $2 PC little sensor thing, and you've got LiPo telemetry. If you want to do that with your Spectrum, with your Spectrum or your Futaba gear, you've got to buy other crap to add onto it, and it all gets really, really spendy. FreeSky have nailed the solution to the telemetry issue, and that's made them and of course it's a reliable bulletproof link, so that's what I fly. I've got JR gear, I've got Futaba gear, I've got all sorts of gear here with brandy names, and I fly FreeSky because FreeSky just gives me the best value for money, and it's totally reliable in my experience. They're also bringing out the Horus in next year, and they've promised to send me an early release one to do a review on. So if you're interested in the Horus from FreeSky, stay tuned. That is going to come up, and I'll be looking at that with great interest. Now, Airborne Magazine, for those who don't know, I write a column and I do reviews for Airborne Magazine. It's an Australian magazine. It's been going for as long as me. It's really, really old, and it's one of the few printed hobby magazines, model flying hobby magazines left in the market. Many of the older titles have closed down, but Airborne Magazine's still going. They've got a website. I'll put a link to it in the description. Go there. You can subscribe to it from anywhere in the world, and you might find it interesting. I do. What else? Oh yeah, the guy who sent me a new laptop. Well, not a new one, a different one. He bought a new one, sent me his old one, which is like a million light years better than the one I was using. So I've only got a little bit of coal left for the old laptop. Once I've used that coal up, I'll be able to use the new one, which actually uses electricity. It's amazing. It's, you can plug it in. It's got batteries and everything. It has RAMs and gigaflops and megabytes and super hertz and all that sort of crap. So I'll be able to use it out here and make life so much easier. Thank you very much, the guy that sent that to me. He knows who he is. Thanks to Barry, because Barry is, he comes out occasionally and gives me a hand behind the scenes. Who's Barry? If you don't watch, probably don't know. If you want to know who it is, go and watch XJet and you'll see Barry. You'll see who he is. And also thanks to my wife. As I say, I'm here under sufferance because I really should be out shopping with her now. But I said, I haven't done my Christmas video, so I had to rush out and do that. She said, anyway. So she's very understanding. And she also helps. She's done a bit of spotting and, she holds the camera from time to time. It's wonderful to have a woman who is so versatile, despite her own problems, who gives so freely of her time to help me out with this channel. Brilliant, excellent. I really appreciate her. She's my best Christmas gift ever. So there you go. That's and as I say, thanks to you, the people who watch the channel. Without you, it'd be nothing. It'd be useless. It'd be worthless. So there you go. That's probably really my Christmas video, isn't it? What else can I say? Not much. Just a big thank you to everybody, because Christmas is a time to give, and I'm giving you my thanks. Thank you so much. Oh, there we go. Never stops. By the way, if you're going to be around Tokoroa in New Zealand, anytime over the summer here, you're welcome to drop me a line and come in and have a look at the studio. A lot of people have come and had a look at the studio. People get their pictures taken with me and put it on Facebook and things. It almost makes me feel like a celebrity. People are strange, eh? Anyway, so, yep, you're welcome to come and have a look. There's always a cold or a hot drink here if you're passing by. And, you're welcome to come in. I've got spare models and I've got stuff here. And even if you can't fly, I've got a buddy box. You can always have a bit of an experience out here at the airfield and enjoy, see what we do. Wonderful stuff. So there you go. Thank you very much for the past year's support. I'm really looking forward to the next year now that hopefully all the crap is sorted. We can get on and get right back to the roots of telling you what's good and what's not. So a very Merry Christmas to all you and yours. If you're not a Christmas person, if your religion or your culture doesn't support it, then happy holidays to you all, because look how politically correct I can be when I need to be. Thanks very much. In the meantime, I've just got to get back to the bench for a little bit and then I'm off to have Christmas with the wife and the family. Thank you very much for another year. Bye for now. Actually, keep watching. There'll be some videos between now and New Year. I'm not going to stop working just because it's Christmas. See you later.